Oh, there's an intro for you. Good evening, everybody. Hello, and welcome to what is round 3 of the AEC Tier S season. It's been a while since I've been in the box on my own. In fact, it's probably the first time on this game, but you've just got myself, Mr. Bobberts, in the commentary booth. I might be joined by somebody else later on. We'll see if Partick can be bothered. If not, it doesn't matter, because we can do this solo. So long as the session's going to start, because we've got a... this is looking promising. Oh no, there we go, it's just reset itself, I think. Unless we've got an issue. No, we don't, thank goodness for that. Because we had to restart everything. But yeah, hello, like I said, good evening, welcome back. For what is round 3 here at the legendary Imola circuit. Personally, one of my favourite circuits, not just because of the game aspect, but just because in real life. Well, let's see what these 20 drivers, 10 different teams can do for us tonight, and let's see what BRT can do after their, well, what was dominating performance last time out at Suzuka. Getting a 1-2 there for BRT, and what was a perfect strategy, a perfect race for them, and they couldn't really ask for anything better. So just quickly, I'll quickly go through the team standings, and because of that 1-2 for Bunga Racing Team, they actually have a 30-point gap over TTM, who are currently in second place, followed by FRT, PGR, FGE, and Shazoo rounding out the top 6, with then a bit of a gap down to XPG, EVR, CRE, and AMS, who round out the top 10. But obviously, it's a 15-race season, still a long way to go. We're only 2 rounds in, this being round 3, but at least it looks like it's going to be dry for this qualifying session here at Imola. Legendary corners. We remember the legendary battle between Schumacher and Alonso from years gone by. More recently, obviously, we had the Verstappen and Hamilton intermediate condition. What that would be now, what, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, if memory serves me right, something like that. But yeah, famous track, legendary corners, legendary track. Let's hope these drivers don't, well, they won't do it, but still, they'll give it their best, as we'll go on board with the lead driver of this whole train, which is going to be NVR's Gabor in the Alpine. Let's see what he can do as he rounds the final corner onto the main straight now, out of Rivatsa. What can we expect from the NVR man? Here we go then, down the pit straight. Here is Gabor. DRS open, Ferrari getting completely out of his way as we go into Tamburello now, through the first chicane, taking a Colombian, and Simbaroxman has been disqualified for blocking the pit lane because he didn't want to get in anybody's way. That's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate, but what can you do about that? As Gabor has actually invalidated his first attempt. So it's not Joe Murphy, it's the other Mercedes of BRT, which is Justin there. Martin completely off the road, and Justin himself has invalidated. No one can clearly keep it within the white lines. Allison is invalidated, Quantum hasn't. Who is the next lead driver? It's actually going to be Shazoo's Venom, who has said, do not expect anything from me tonight, maybe a P14 finish. Let's see what he can do. Through Aqua Minerali now, back up the hill, in towards the end of the sector 2, into the chicane of Variante Alta. Obviously, will set a purple middle sector, but that's been immediately taken by the car that is closely following on behind him. Not too sure who that is. I think it might be a Williams. It'll either be Furious or Allison, but down the hill now for Venom. Into the first Rivatsa. Oh, he's gone wide there at the first Rivatsa, and again at the second Rivatsa, so that's Venom's time gone with. So we'll go on board. It's not Allison, so it's going to be Furious then, who crosses the line, and indeed it is Furious with a 13.5. To set his initial banker. Ogwin going a tenth slower there. Joe Murphy, though, puts them to shame with a quarter of a second into the 0.2s immediately. Does the BRT man there. Very good good opening banker there from the BRT driver. We've now got the 2 Haas drivers coming through. Going on board with Fake TB, who has invalidated. He's going to complete his time just to get a Delta reference. Back all the way to the top. Here comes Typical now. What can he do for FRT? Goes P4, but 7/10. Exactly 7/10 off Joel Murphy's time, and everybody seems to be struggling at the moment to actually just get a time on the board. Sem invalidated his lap and is going again, and there's a lot of people who are going into the pits. I think Knight is now the next driver across the line. He will complete his lap time, but it's only a 1:14.7, a second and a half off the pace, but he's currently P6. Can't really ask for much more than that, I suppose. Apparently, if we were to restart this lobby, it was going to be fully wet for this for the race, but obviously that might not happen now, as we are going to be going again. Rapids, sorry, now. Starting his lap now, going through the first set. Look at that lovely lag. That is absolutely amazing. Through Tamburello now and into Villeneuve. Here comes CRE Rapids. Actually, CRE did look quite promising last week. They did set a good qualifying, but the race just didn't go quite their way for one reason or another. As Rapids now comes up the hill, out of Toza, in towards Piratella. Can easily run the car too wide here. He misses the apex and actually just scrubs a lot of the speed now as he comes down the hill into Aqua Minerale. Does the first part very nicely and takes quite a bit of the curb on the second part. Right on board with him now. Coming into Variante Alta. 49.1 through the middle split, and he's just lost the back end completely there. The car complaining with the rear grip, and that is Rapids. Well, his lap's still somehow valid. He might finish it to get a delta, but otherwise that's it's not been the best of start. But only 7 drivers have set a lap time at the moment. His teammate has gone P4, has Sem. But that's an interesting way of going back into the pits and towards an end point. Not advisable. So Justin has invalidated. I don't know if he went again or if he's already gone out, done an outlap, and I think he has actually just invalidated straight away. So everyone having a lot of difficulty here at the moment. Just not only just to set a lap time, but actually just to set a representative lap time. We'll stick on board with Justin because he will keep going round, and he is the lead driver, with Sem crawling his way back to the pits. Just talk amongst yourselves whilst we wait. But here we go now. So, attempt number 3 for Justin now, technically. As again, out of Ravazza, down the pit straight, overtake on DRS open. And let's see if he can keep it clean into Tamburello this time. Through the first part, through the second, looking very nice there, taking quite a bit of curb on the exit as well. So a good start there from Justin. Keeps it clean this time. Can he through Villeneuve? Through the left, through the right, scrubbing a bit of the inside tyre there, locking up ever so slightly. It's a 23.7 first sector. I think about 10th or so down from the best I have seen, I think, so far. But up the hill now, out of Toza, now in towards Piratella. Like I said, don't want to drift the car too wide. Easily doable. In these current F1 Gen cars and on these games, but no such problem there for Justin. Old car gets him very unsettled there, coming through Aqua Minerale on the second part, but manages to keep it going in a straight direction. 48.8 through the middle split of what has been a fairly scruffy-ish lap for Justin. But down the hill he comes, into Ravazza 1. On the white line there, into the second Ravazza, taking as much of the track as he dares. Coming to the line now, where will this be for Justin? Can he join his teammate on the front row? And indeed he can, just over a 10th of a second down. But his teammate now goes to improve, but BRT currently lock out the front row of the grid. What can Furious do? He's aborted, he's invalidated his lap time. Both Shazoo drivers have gone into the pits. Is that typical? It's not typical. It's coming through, but that was Gabor going P3 there in the Alpine. Jacob has invalidated his lap time. Jake has gone into the pits. There'll be fake TB now, be the next driver to come across the line, and he's also invalidated. Everyone's still struggling to set lap times, to set clean lap times. Typical, not having a problem. A 10th of a second up at the moment. Needs to find more. He might only gain 1 place at the moment. Where can the FRT man go? He finds a bit more in that final sector. Goes 1,000th behind Venom, but he's P7 for the time being. As Misha just starts his next lap. Knight now 3/10 up nearly. But there's a bit of a moment there through the Variante Alta, and car again. Everyone's car seems to be very unsettled. It's everyone seems to be on a knife edge to try and just get the best time that they can. Lock up there through the first part. Ravazza for 90 will complete. No, he won't complete his lap. Not too sure if anyone ahead of Rapids is actually on a lap. Actually, I think Allison might be. No, Allison is on a lap, but he's much further behind. So we'll stick on board with Rapids for the time being. As once again, oh no, that's his lag. JT, discuss about connection aspect here. I don't know if it's just Rapids or if it's because of me hosting, but I have to make a decision. But anyway, through Ravazza 1 and Ravazza 2 for CRE Rapids. Where can he go? In the kick Sauber. He's going to get a lap time on the board at least, so he will at least go into the top 13, and he goes into P12 at least. Now go on board with TTM Allison, who once again has invalidated and is struggling. He's not the only one. Quantum, oh, I've got on board with that at the right time. Quantum having a mega snap of oversteer coming out of Piratella. Somehow the lap is still valid. And he's still going. But he would have lost a chunk of time there. Stick on board with it now, though. Coming down into the first Ravazza, into the second Ravazza. Not going to be distracted by the car in front. Takes as much curb as he can. Doesn't use the whole track on the exit. Well, here comes Quantum now. He will get a lap time on the board at least. And it is P9 for the time being. But there is a lot more time there to be found. Purple final sector, apparently. Whether you believe that or not. Jacob starting his next run, as is Jake. Rapids will obviously be going into the pits. Otto has just finished the first sector. I'm just going to try and find someone who's a bit further on. As once again, Allison, who's... I don't know if he went again or he's just invalidated. But we'll go on board with Shizu Ogui. Oh, getting very close, using all of the track there. Well, a tenth of a second up through the first sector. For the Shizu man, coming to the end of the second spot, and he's now a quarter of a second up. He might challenge the front row here. Can Shizu's Ogui, so he can find maybe a bit more time in this final sector coming down the hill. Hopefully well, Racing Bull, VCAB, whatever you want to call it, isn't going to get his way or distract him. Doesn't look like it. Through the final corner now, the second Ravazza. Where can Shizu's Ogui go? As Otto goes into P4 for FRT, and Ogui, he goes less than a tenth of a second behind Joel Murphy into P2 there. Good lap from the Shizu man. We'll stick on board with Furious now at just over half a tenth up as he goes through Piratella. At the moment, that is enough to get him ahead of Otto at least and go up into P5. But he'll want to try and challenge the front row here. Actually lost a bit of time there through the middle sector, has the TTM man. His teammate currently down in P19 as Rapids has left the session. I think that kind of confirms that it was his connection. As Joe Murphy now goes into the 1 minute 12s as Furious actually invalidates. And now puts 3/10 clear ahead of second place Ogui. And Joe Murphy is just on a different level here at the moment. Since I've not said it, good evening to everybody in the chat. I hope everyone's had a good weekend. Typical over 2/10 up on his current PB. That'll actually put him challenging actually for a top 5 spot at the moment. Until he invalidates. They'll be kicking himself for that one. That was actually on for a decent time there. But back into the pits he goes. It's Fake TB also goes into the pits. Knight, I believe, is on the lap, as is his teammate Misha. So the AMS driver's doing something a bit different, but Knight is invalidated, 6 tenths down. That's him done, so he'll come back into the pits, as has Misha. Imola, we know, is well, the race is going to be very interesting then to see in terms of obviously penalties are potentially going to be an issue. They are going to crop up. I mean, I know we did have the request a Brett bet, but we'll have Bobbots' bets now as to how many penalties we're going to see and who will have the most. Partic, if you want to join, then you can. That's absolutely fine. I'll get you in. Apologies, everybody. Hate this new way. Yes, Kenzie, it is me on comms. Just make sure you click the audio, Partic. Oh, you don't have the option. Oh. Hang on. I was going to say, I'm sure I put it on. Right. Anyway, hello, and thank you for joining me. Obviously, as you already know, we are at the very end of the qualifying stages. What have you made of it so far? Indeed, yeah. Joe Murphy obviously does have that 3/10 gap at the moment. Furious is currently on his final run at the moment. He is just under a tenth of a second up on his current best time, coming through the end of the middle sector, as he now comes down the hill into Ravazza for the final time for the TTM man. Can he find a bit more time? At the moment, I mean, he could potentially get a P3 here if he finds just a little bit more than just over a tenth of a second, but he's invalidated it once again. And, well, that is Furious done for this session. He's not going to have the ERS levels. And, in fact, actually, he would only have gone P5 with that lap time in the end. So that is him done. His teammate Allison has actually got a lap in his own P7. So at least he's actually now up there. Just going to see where the top protagonists are. Joe Murphy coming through the end of the first sector. And he's just 400s down at the moment. But we'll go on board with somebody else who's just coming through. Oh, I think it is coming through. Race Roller improves up in from 16th to 14th there with a 13.8. But in fact, I think we will go back on board with Joe Murphy, who has just invalidated. Perfect timing. So, is there a small... Oh, as Gabor has just destroyed his car. I didn't expect that, Party. They can't hear you. Right, I will sort that out afterwards. I will stick on board with FRT typical. Currently P11. He's just over 2 tenths up again, like he was on his last lap, but this time he has not invalidated it. He has a bit of a moment, though, through the second part. Ravazza has definitely lost some time there, but where can the FRT man go? And in fact, he lost all of his time. He doesn't improve at all, stays and actually drops down as the Fake TB goes into the top 10. Venom has invalidated. Ogwin did not improve. Here comes Justin, who was also invalidated. Everyone's invalidating once again. Has Quantum? Yes, he's 11 seconds down. Just going to go further down. Rapids, invalidate. Everyone's struggling. So who's the next car then? It's an Aston Martin. That'll be Knight. He's not invalidated. He has a massive slide through the second part of Ravazza. But where can Knight go? Currently P13. Improves on his time, but not his position. Stays in the unlucky spot. See, Race Roller has finished. EVR Jake does not improve. And I think, unless Furious is somehow on another lap, which I don't think he is. No, he is not. That is qualifying over and done with. And Joe Murphy didn't even need to improve on his final run. Has a very comfortable 3/10 gap to his nearest competitor. That is just different stuff. Right, I will now go and quickly check the audio aspects. Okay, I did not have it on. Whoops.
Okay, now I have the option, and now
everyone should be able to hear you because I'm an idiot.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so should be all good now.
Everything should be all good. Obviously, we will have a lobby restart, or everybody should retire. But yeah, obviously now that we've come to the end of qual. Well, yeah, let's hope so. I mean, a bit unfortunate there for Simbarox, who did the right thing and moved completely out the way. I don't know if you saw that part of it, but he moved out the way of or just stopped at the pit lane exit to make sure, obviously, he doesn't get in the way of anyone who was on their lap. But as a result, because he was stationary for too long, was disqualified.
Oh, great. That's amazing.
So he'll be starting stone dead last through, obviously, technically his own fault, but also through no fault of his own, doing the right thing, but not doing it in the right place, you could say.
Oh, God. I mean, we love this game. So, yeah.
Who doesn't love this game? One thing I did hear, and we're probably going to see it very shortly, is that it was meant to rain for the entire race.
Oh, that would have been amazing. Imola in
Look
the
at
rain.
that. Look at those conditions. Wow. You need more than the wet tires for that. You might need a canoe or a kayak.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, well, I say unfortunately. Obviously, we see the weather settings will stay as dynamic, so we could have a completely different race weather setting altogether. Obviously, the drivers will just ready up now and retire. Might see a few crashes, but then I've got to set everything up again. But whilst we do sort of wait party, and we sort of see the idiocy that's going to take part, obviously for your own excuse me, for your own team for AMS, not being the best of starts to your season. Obviously, and obviously you struggled last time out in Japan, and obviously didn't actually score at all. What are your sort of not projections, but what's your anticipation? Where would you like to be in the standings as such for your team?
I mean, I don't really have high expectations. I just want us to try our best and see what we can achieve with that. I mean, obviously, I am also on the roster, so that kind of already tells enough.
Yes.
But yeah, I believe in my boys. They will try their best, and we will see what we can get. I don't have a set thing to achieve. I just want them to have fun.
Oh yeah, I mean obviously the main thing is for everybody to have fun, because obviously we all play this game to, I mean we do obviously represent teams, but we also come on here to have fun, and that's what that's the aim of the game, or that's what we should do at the end of the day for in any game that we do, not just F1. But obviously it'd be a good thing if you can get a little bit further up the standings, obviously. But I think obviously the aim for tonight is to just keep your noses clean.
Yes, hopefully as minimal penalties with track limits as possible, because well in tier 1 we had a slight issue with track limits, so hopefully that's out of our system for tonight.
I mean, I think Imola is one of the most difficult tracks on the calendar, not just as a whole as it is anyway, but the fact that with the track limit aspects as well, it's just very easy to run wide, especially at this track. It's not so much the corner cutting, apart from through the Variante Alta potentially. Everywhere else is more track extensions.
Yeah, I will be quite curious to see what the most amount of penalties will be tonight for one driver. I mean, yes, yesterday we had big twos, and I think Sam got like 15 seconds or something like that.
Oh wow.
So yeah, and he's racing
It's
tonight
possible
as
we could
well.
see.
So
Yeah, it's possible we could see something like that. But I mean, I did say in the chat, obviously, we will start a Bobbots' bets aspect
mhm.
to see what the most number of penalties is that we will get tonight. I don't think 15 is a bad shout. I mean, if somebody is to get disqualified, then why are they playing? Well, I'm not going to say why are they playing the game, but you'd be questioning
Yeah,
as to why they were chosen to race tonight.
yeah, yeah.
That's why I'm not doing it. uh, right, obviously I'm just currently redoing the grid.
Yeah.
Oh, I have just put him in the wrong place. Whoops, that could have been. Don't kill me, please. If anybody wants to start higher up, by the way, just tell me how much you are willing to pay me, and I might consider it. Um,
It's too
but
bad.
it will have to be a substantial amount.
It's too bad FRC are not a thing anymore. So.
Yes. Mr. Venom qualifying in 11th place. At least, could be worse, could be last. Although he is starting 3 places higher as to where he thinks he's going to be finishing, so... Oh, shh. What are you doing? You're at the bottom. I need to be at the bottom, in fact. So we got Jake, then Jacob, Rapids, Tondi, Simba at the back, and then me, because I put myself out of spectate just for the time being. Collisions are on this time. I am not making the mistake like I did last week and forget to change it.
Oh yeah, the collisions.
Yeah, I left the collisions off because I'm an idiot. Okay, right. Everything should be all sorted. Haha, very funny. I've been told about real time. Yes, I know. Right. I'm just quickly checking something because I think it's all okay. Yep, right. And I can't spell today. Okay, so everyone should hopefully be readying up now, and then we go at 36 minutes past. That should give everyone enough time.
Yeah, hopefully everyone will have a setup ready by now.
Indeed. So we'll run through the grid because I didn't actually even go through that. Actually, to be fair, at the end of qualifying, or not too much at least. Anyway, so obviously BRT, Joe Murphy getting another pole position for BRT, followed by Ogween, and then Justin in P3. Obviously, I think at the start here, I think Justin will want to try and get ahead of the Shizou driver and kind of beat, and then those two will try and work together like they did last week. But can you see anybody a little bit further down the grid, maybe Partik, who could challenge them?
I mean, you can never count out a Gabor, for example. But yeah, recently seems like Justin and Joe Murphy are very competitive. So it will be interesting to see who can actually get there. But I mean, I will also never count out Furious or yeah, or as I said, Gabor.
Yeah, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people in the top half of the grid, even potentially even outside the top 10, who could even, climb their way up through the grid and, challenge for podiums or, for a good result at least. Obviously, we know that, well, now that we've sort of loaded in, that we haven't got the wet,
Yeah.
3-4 drop rain from the last session. We have got what looks like a sort of fairly cloudy but, dry session. But I wonder if there's going to be any rain due. Be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with your two drivers, did they quite like the rain, or would they much prefer these sort of conditions?
I think they would prefer dries. I personally would have, if would have done it, I would have preferred the wet weather, but I think Misha and Knight prefer the dry. So
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I do love the wet weather, but to be honest, I don't think I've actually done much wet weather on this game at all. Actually, um, as of yet, but it'll be interesting to see anyway. Obviously, a couple more minutes, and we will get going. Obviously, just a quick reminder. Obviously, based off the championship standings, obviously, BRT do have a 30-point gap to TTM at the moment. And obviously starting P1 and P3 with TTM Furious starting in 6th and his teammate Allison alongside him in 7th. They do have some work to do. FRT didn't have the best of qualifying. Shizou have one driver up there, one in the mid-pack. It's I think the mid-pack is going to be quite intense going into the first few corners. We might see some carbon fibre.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's really tight and tricky the first few corners, so wouldn't be surprised if we see carbon fiber flying all around. Meanwhile, I have checked race director. There are some interesting tire choices already throughout the grid.
Well, I'm not going to open it just yet. We will just wait until we do load up. We may as well at least anyway. But to get your thoughts in the chat, everyone. I mean, I've not actually loaded the chat up, and apart from like not an hour ago, but half an hour ago. Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what you think is going to happen. Who's going to win this race? Will we see a safety car? Because apparently every time that I host, we just get VSCs. We don't get proper safety cars at all.
I mean, so far this season we didn't have any safety cars, so I mean it's the walls are a lot closer, so.
Well, one thing that Smeggy's going for is he's calling for a Justin kill on lap 1.
Oh.
We'll see. We'll see about that one. We'll see if that comes into light. Could it be with his own teammate? Commentator's curse. We'll see.
Oh, that would be.
No, anything that I say it will just happen to my own team, and normally to one particular driver, and he's starting P11.
Oh yeah, that's in the middle of potentially everything bad happening.
Exactly. 41 viewers. It's good to see all 41 of you. Try and get more people. Adam, who got pole? Joe Murphy by about 0.3 of a second. Was just on another level. As I can hear the countdown, so that means we are finally going to get going here. Hopefully, with me as a host, we don't see any any dodginess, but we can't guarantee any of that. But here we go now with the 5 red lights coming on here for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go, and Joe Murphy gets a pretty good start, as does his teammate there of Justin Elsby calls Ogwin. I can tell he's on the hard compounded tyres. There's contact already just behind them. But are we going to go 3 wide into Tamburello? No, we don't. Justin takes second place from Joe Murphy, so it is a BRT 1-2.
Ogwin holding P3.
Yeah, there's quite a few people. And that's Jake off in the background. He's in the gravel. He's not brought it. Well, has he brought his bucket and spade with him? I don't know. But it's a good start for BRT. The perfect start for them now, running at the front of the field. And Justin can't, and they could just help each other for the time being. Ogwin obviously in P3, Gabor 4th. Furious has made a couple of places up into P5. Quantum up into P6, and he's on the hard compounded tyres as well. We will get those up. There we go. There's the tyre strategy.
seen some carbon fiber flying, and this was Jacob, who is missing an end plate at the back.
On board with that actually just very briefly as Misha trying to go around the outside of Jacob and just about to get the car stopped, but just looked like he then just parked it like a bus stopping at a bus stop. You know, funny that is because they do that. But yeah, Jacob definitely missing an end plate there as we're going side by side there through Ravazza. That was typical. I think that was no, it wasn't typical. It was his teammate Otto and Fake TB going side by side. Different tyre strategies here going on, and as you can see, from 13th downwards, as there is Jacob going into the pits, going towards the front. Gabor now getting ahead of Ogwin and needing to get that done, being on the mediums to Ogwin being on those hard compounded tyres. So you've got you've got 6 drivers on the hard compounded tyres. You've got both Shizou drivers on the hard compounds. FRT have gone with a split strategy. Sem is also on the hard compound tyres, as is Quantum and Fake TB. So a couple of teams doing splits, but Shizou going for the full...
Typical, sorry. Going side by side.
It's alright. It's alright, going side by side through Tozer. Venom looks like he just activated the overtake button there to maintain that position as in front of him. Fake TV had a big slide there through Piratella, but they've now got Knight in behind him on his mediums and want to maybe try it and get him moved. But yeah, interesting that both Shizou drivers have gone for the hard compound tyres. Interesting.
Yeah, everyone seems to have at least split the strategy, who picked the hard. But Shazoo is going all for the hard tactic, it seems.
Yeah,
I mean, it is definitely slower now, but in this DRS train, it can be good for later.
Indeed, as Allison now going for a move on Quantum. Quantum had a massive mistake on that lap, and look at that. The front 5 have now got a 2-second gap to Allison in P6. Whose teammate Furious got ahead of Ogwin on the DRS straight. Ogwin's not going to bother to defend from any immediate compounded tyres. He'll just stick in that train as long as he can, doing the alternative strategy. But Allison now will be leading this second train. He's gained half a second through that first sector though already. So he's going to, well, he will burn that battery to try and close back in. As in behind Sem there, having a bit of a snap at the exit of Tozer, and Otto there, who is basically FRT Sam, might get interested. Jacob did pit for a new front wing onto the hard compounded tyres now, but he's going to have to hope for a safety car of some form to try and recover anything from this race that if he can. And I tell you what, Bartik, Allison has done a fantastic job here. I know he's burned all his battery, but he's nearly pretty much got back in the DRS as Otto there goes round the outside, well, on the racing line, and going into Ravazza, gets ahead of Sem and need to get that move done, being on the medium compounded tyre and he's just surrounded by hard tyre runners.
Yeah, Allison just missed out barely on the DRS, so he has to start again with significantly less ERS now, and a lot of cars on his tail.
Indeed, yes, but I mean, he'll gain the time onto Ogwin. Obviously, Ogwin doing a good job. I know he has dropped 3 places, but doing a good job on those hard compound tyres. But Allison will continue to keep gaining, like he is doing right now, even with that depleted ERS level, to try and close back in. But he is just basically leading a whole train all the way down to P18, down to Misha. Obviously, one of our drivers is Otto there, going way wide at Piratella, thinking he was going towards Monza than he was actually at Imola. Yeah, Quantum settling in now at least.
For sure. Already.
Really?
Oh, Allison.
Oh, Allison just caught that on the exit there. Bit of a bit of a moment there through Variante Alta there for Allison, and all that good work that he had done, he's now just lost it. And I think Quantum might potentially get a move. Oh, there's a big snap again on the exit of Ravazza this time, and Quantum's just going to say, well, thank you very much. I'll lead this train now. As there we go, it's taken till the end of lap 4 for Jake, and that is the first penalty on the board already. And there we go, Quantum taking over P6. Does Otto try and follow him through the first corners, through Tamburello, and indeed he does. Otto, they're going into P7. So Allison, that one mistake has cost him 2 places, but side by side now behind him as Fake TB up the inside of Villeneuve on Sem, and that's a good move, a good opportunistic move there from the Fake TB.
Yeah, a good move, and now it's on Quantum to try to bridge that to a 2.2 second gap. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't think at this point it is possible, but we'll see. Stone is got the penalty as well.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you there. I think, yeah, with the hard tyres, he's not really going to do anything with that. He's just going to maintain the gap to Ogwin pretty much as he has done this lap so far. The hard, I mean, Ogwin's doing a great job just sticking in. We will quickly go on board with them towards the front as Furious is getting very close to the back of Gabor. You know, they've just all held, this top five has just held position ever since basically the end of the first lap. I'm not sure if Furious is actually going to be interested here and wanting to make a move. I think he might be actually. Indeed he is. He's on the overtake. I think he might be interested in getting a move done on Gabor. Gabor going into the middle of the road initially to sort of half defend, but in the end it was fairly easy to cover him off as there goes Otto through with the DRS and a bit of battery burning on Quantum. So he now takes over that 6th place spot. As in behind, here comes the Fake TB on Allison. And Fake TB here, bear in mind, is on the hard compounded tyres. He's actually challenging the medium runners already. I mean, other mediums, no, oh, what's in behind there? Just saw an Aston Martin of Knight, unfortunately having a big snap on the exit of Villeneuve. But I think he only lost the 1 place.
Yeah, but they lost the DRS now. If Rapis can catch back up. That was a massive flag. I was already seeing the front wing flying up until now.
Indeed, yes. As
Gabor.
Gabor, one of the front protagonists, and there we go. Lap 6, Gabor immediate already with a 3-second time penalty. So that's gonna hamper PGR as Fake TB getting still very close to the back of Allison here, going on board in through Ravatse. He's got plenty of battery to burn here, does the Fake TB, and is he going to try and make a move? Further up front though, Gabor not defending from Furious, who obviously wants to get ahead with the penalty that he's got, and then gets that done indeed. Quantum now getting back ahead of Otto with the DRS, but in behind there goes Fake TV round the outside. Can he get round the outside? Tabarello, contact there between him and Allison. Here comes Sem, going to be audacious, making it 3 wide. That is just not going to work. They're still side by side.
Jesus.
3 wide going into Villeneuve. Yellow flags in behind. But Fake TV gets that done. 7 to 9. Allison drops the 10th, but he's now being overtaken by Venom. Allison being mugged off here, and now here comes Typical as well. Out of Toza, up the hill into Piratella. Is Allison going to lose another position? Yes, he is. He's gone from 7th to 12th.
That was some very bold action there.
That was ballsy from all of them there. But they managed to get it done. I'm not too sure what happened tonight. I don't know if you saw. I did see the yellow flags.
No,
but I don't know exactly what happened to him.
They were going side by side with the Ferrari. I don't know which one. And then I only saw the yellow flags because I switched on to the action as well, which you were covering.
Yeah, it's very difficult to keep following through them. Knight, unfortunately, now has picked up a time penalty. But what this has done is this has split this group up a little bit here. Sem has lost DRS. Justin now takes the lead, and Joe Murphy has now dropped into P3. Obviously, doesn't really matter too much at these early stages. Venom there getting the move done on Typical as well, getting himself to P9. Allison now picking up a time penalty. I'm not too sure if he's got a bit of damage as Allison. It's not showing as Knight has actually retired in the pits, unfortunately. He's not missing any end plates, is Allison, but he's just made another mistake now. He's gone ghosted. I wonder if he's got a small bit of damage that it's not showing.
I mean, he's really struggling at the moment, so maybe.
Yeah, I think he might have light green damage, potentially. Something's clearly happening there, but Joe Murphy here trying to go down, potentially looking down the inside of Furious there, who got ahead of him, going into Variante Alta, and it's all kicking off here at the front, and Quantum's now closed their gap to 2 seconds to Ogwin in front of them, but that's because this lot is now starting to squabble. And I don't know why. Well, I mean, I'm all for it. Fair enough. If this front four want to take each other out, so Ogwin's got a clear run. Fair enough. That's fine by me. But
yeah, but
no bias in the slightest.
Yeah.
But here we go. Is this going to be 3 wide into Tabarello? It isn't. But Furious from P6 and the start of lap 9 now takes the lead. Justin now dropping to P2 with Joe Murphy in P3, then it's Gabor and Ogwin, and then obviously you've got that gap in behind, but there you go, look, this little train that was behind them is just splitting up now into 3s. You've got Quantum, Otto and Fake TB, Venom, who is trying his damnedest to close back in and get the DRS. Has got the next trainer 3 with himself, typical and 7. This kind of is basically the front. So you've got the medium split in with the hards pretty much here. Then obviously you've got what we had as the shenanigans from what is P12 back. Simrox 1 is up into P12 now for FGE. Obviously he started P20 because of his disqualification in qualifying through, as I mentioned, sort of half his fault, half not his fault. And then you've got, well, the unfortunate aspect of those who have had just been caught up in incidents at the back.
Yeah.
As Sem now picking up a time penalty, so these penalties are coming in thick and fast.
Yeah, but at the moment, and there is yellow flag, and it's one of them.
I think that was Jake. Yeah, it was Jake, I think, just having a bit of a moment through somewhere in the middle sector. I'm going to say it was probably Aqua Morale.
Justin is going for the lead.
Indeed he is. I was looking a little bit further behind, if I'm brutally honest, but yeah, there goes Justin for the lead. Joe Murphy not interested in battling. Quantum does stay in P6. Fate TB actually got ahead of Ottawa, and I think at this point the hard tyres are now starting to come into play. I think they are now the slightly better tyres. Excuse me, as Jake retires in the pit lane, he's had enough. Venom, what are you doing? You're sacked. It's a bit harsh. He's got DRS now, but you know. But anyway, as I was saying, yeah, I think the hard tyres are now coming to play. Quantum's actually gained half a second on this lap to the train in front, so maybe all is not lost for these guys yet. Maybe this train of 6 cars can actually close back in. Ogweed still look at him chilling there with pretty much a full battery, but I think he's going to have to start making moves here, Partick, because being on that alternative strategy, and now he's going to be on the better tyre. He's going to have to make some moves to try and reduce the time loss that he's going to have in between pit stops.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Quantum closing up this much definitely shows that the hard tyres are probably at a better stage at this point.
The hours I could just see in the background, fake TB there going for the move. And he's getting it done, but look at that, in front Furious and Justin getting very dicey there. And a little bit, I don't know if there's a little bit of contact made between them. Justin just about managed to, but look what does happen. Fate TB is now within a second of the front 5 because of this. Well, not so much, Ogwin or Gabor, but the front 3 squabbling as Joe Murphy's gone into a ghosted there slightly. But look, we've now got a train from what was 5 back to 11 drivers.
Yeah, I mean, they have battled so much in the recent laps that it was kind of inevitable, especially with the hard tires coming into the race. And Justin has a bit wide. Maybe he might be under pressure a bit.
Yeah, I wonder what his the rear tyres are going to be like. Obviously, we saw people struggling in qualifying. There was a lot of rear slip, as Gabor just proves that there. Getting a lot of rear slip, and that's inviting Ogwin here. Ogwin going to go down. We'll have the racing line to Ravazza, and Gabor just lets him go. And that is Ogwin, what the first of the medium tyre runners dispatched of, into P4 now. Not too sure what the pit strategy is like, but there goes Gabor with a very early pit stop.
Yeah. Few early undercuts. I mean, Gabor has to somehow get a 3-second gap to the other cars as Joe Murphy is going for the lead, and he takes it.
Indeed, yeah, basically BRT just swapped places there from first to third, Sphere staying in P2. But yeah, these hard tyre runners are now definitely the quicker drivers as Quantum now picks a penalty and has a massive tank slapper or something on the exit of Villeneuve there, but just about gets away with it. Be interesting to see where Gabor comes out in amongst all this. He comes out in P13. Obviously, he's got Otto there just a second behind him, as they now go onto the hard compounded tyres. They're going to do 21 laps on those hard compounded tyres. The Simrox 1, who's just made a pit stop, has just picked up a penalty, so that's just not really ideal for him. But look how close this. The top 5 are separated by about 1.2 seconds. This is close racing.
Yeah, and Gabor is in a very big clean out, so he basically wants these lots to battle as much as they can, because the undercuts will be working wonders.
Indeed they are, but the only driver to have pit on this lap is BRT's Justin. So obviously Joe Murphy will have to stay out another lap. He has to, as Otto now picks up a time penalty. Furious retakes the lead. Ogwin there sort of half defending from Fate TV, who I think is getting a little bit aggressive here now, actually. He realises he's got an opportunity to be even the lead hard tyre runner here, but he may as well just stay in behind, wait for the front two to make their pit stops. Gabor now picks up his second time penalty. 13, you know, on lap 13 now. Ooh, could he actually pick up those 5 penalties? I'm not saying he will, but...
And he is easily ahead of Justin, so the undercut worked. It's just unlucky that he got a penalty with it.
Indeed, yes, Maggie in the chat saying about he thinks that, you know, Shazoo in this case are on the better strategy, but some dodgy guy behind him has been shaking. I think at least that's not me being the older... You know, the eldest person here. He's probably, I think he's on about Venom in this case, as Misha now joining the penalty club. I mean, if you look at it there, you've got what, 4, 5, 6. You've got 8 drivers without a penalty. Not too sure, obviously, on the warning aspects that they're each all on. Be interesting to see. Obviously, keeping your nose clean is what's going to win you these races. As the top 2 now do pit, that then leaves just the hard tyre runners out now to continue on. One thing that is a definite, obviously, is Allison. If you look at him down at P9 and how far he is off this train, he's definitely got some small wing damage. He's now boxing. Oh, who's that sliding through?
Quantum looked like a rear loss. And
and he's collided and he's hit Typical. And he's been hit with Typical as well. So Quantum with a mistake through Tamburello and rejoining on the track, and Typical has hit him. No VSC, no safety car, but that's Typical with damage. That's Quantum. That's their race is done, and now we're down to 4 hard tyre runners who could do something. But I think Sem and Venom have lost out on this because they were trying to avoid it, and have now lost over 2 seconds to Ogwin and the Fake TB.
Yeah, Fake TB is in the race of his life. It looks like if he can keep this up, he's going to get very big points for EVR.
Indeed, yes. We've got yellow flags, and that is that's Jacob once again at Tamburello, he's gone into the wall somewhere, and he's just, I'm not saying he's parked it, but he's he's moving now eventually. But just looking at those who have made their pit stops, I've just gone on board with them. So Gabor is now technically the net race leader, but obviously he's got those 2 time penalties, but Justin is right in behind him. Otto is now net P3, but again has his own penalty. And then Furious and Joe Murphy, who have just come out the pits, are at the back of this train, but they've not lost anything. You know, they're still there, and they don't have a penalty compared to 2 of the drivers in front of them. So Justin pretty much will be net P1 at the moment. Obviously typical boxing now to change his wing, and he's going to have to do more than half the race on those medium compounded tyres. Good luck to you, Typical. But I don't just see what you can salvage, I guess, from that.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see. Also, Race Roller on the medium, still out on track.
Indeed he is, yes. Yeah, I think Race Roller was towards the back. I think he might be, I'm not saying he's going to be banking on a safety car, but you know, especially being on the medium compounded tyres. But he might be just trying an alternative strategy to keep him going as long as he can. As Allison now, the latest driver to pick up a time penalty. Justin looked like he was half interested in going for a move through Piratella on Gabor there, but nothing doing on this occasion. But now you've got this train of 5 cars who will be slowly trying to close in. See what sort of, you know, lap times they could do in comparison, especially to the top 2, who have pulled another second away from Sem and Venom, as that was a mistake from Gabor, and that's Otto's second time penalty himself now.
As Fake TB takes the lead, EVR is leading the rest.
Indeed, yeah, I would go on board with that, but I think there's going to be a bit of action going on here between Justin, Otto, Furious, and Joe Murphy. They're all very close together, and here we go. So Joe Murphy. He's so close, I could just see him there on the back of Furious, but Justin, he can't get close to the back of Gabor. He's got the overtake on, and he's only just getting alongside him now, and he does just about get it done. As in behind, that's Furious going right around the outside of Tamburello on Otto, and that is a great move there. I just saw that in the background. Great move there from Furious. Joe Murphy wanted to try and follow him through the inside of Villeneuve, and that's Otto losing 2 places in a few corners, and Justin now joins the penalty club. Oh dear, just as he got ahead of the train, he'd done the hard work. He's now not gone and quite blown it, but he's certainly made it harder for himself and for BRT.
Yeah, and if we have a look at the penalty situation. Gabor has 6, and everyone else in the pack ahead of him has 3 seconds. So Gabor is really in a, well, quite big trouble because only Otto will have the same amount of penalties as Things and
Indeed, yes, it's certainly getting quite interesting. That's for sure. They're actually closing now onto the back of Race Roller, who actually now does dive into the box. Not too sure if Justin picked up the DRS there for being within the 1 second. He just didn't. New fastest lap there set from Justin, a 15.7. But here comes Gabor. He's burnt all his battery, and he's going to go back ahead of the BRT man. He doesn't care about the penalty aspects. He wants to stay ahead of him on track, and Gabor does indeed get that done. Quantum. They are actually closing in on
trying
Quantum.
to come back. Sorry, there was a bit of contact. I guess Gabor reacted to Justin having a look.
I'll tell you what I can see happening here, because they're closing in on Quantum. Quantum's just been saving his battery. I think Gabor's done that purposely to get ahead. He can then use his teammate, get ahead of him, and then he might be used as a buffer to hold everyone up behind as much as possible. I'm not saying that he is, it's just a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see that happening. Maybe that's what Justin expects to, and that's why he tried to have an instant look on the inside of Gabor, as Quantum picks up a pen again.
Indeed, yes, that's his second time penalty. Sem actually now going into the box. I'm not too sure if that's a little early, the end of lap 17 for these hard tyre runners, but Sem will be the first driver off the hard tyres and onto the mediums. That's on this sort of strategy. As here we go now,
PGR
Justin.
might have messed that up because Gabor doesn't have DRS.
Indeed, and Quantum there defending from Justin, and he's just about done it. But yeah, it's definitely not worked. Gabor's actually lost out quite a few places. He's lost out 3 places, in fact. But Quantum now is just going to hold this up, and all this is going to do is just going to benefit us. That was Gabor running very wide. Otto now sending it down the inside of Tozer nearly, but not quite. But I was just going to say, all this is doing is benefiting the front 2. As here comes Justin now on the inside of Piratella. Can he get the move done? Quantum trying to hang it around the outside. Indeed he does. He stays. He keeps the position. I mean, I'm not entirely sure about that one. Unless he was forced off track, which he sort of was in some respects. Getting a bit of wheel banging. This is getting rough. Well, Quantum actually does stay ahead somehow.
Yeah, but he's getting eaten alive now on this track. Okay, DRS chicken.
Yeah, we're playing. Oh my God, the PGR drivers actually nearly coming into contact with each other. This isn't I'm not sure what I'm watching here. Is this F1 or are we watching Dodgems as Venom now goes into the box? Excuse me, to pit onto the mediums. Be interesting to see how far he comes out behind them, as here comes Otto now. But goes ahead of Quantum quite easily. So now Quantum at the back of this train, he'll probably pit at some point. I'm just trying to work out here. So I would just want to see what the gap is from Venom to what'll be Otto. He's trying to go down the inside of Gabor here through Villeneuve. Gabor having absolutely none of it, just about hangs on. I'm not sure if Gabor's got some damage, you know, actually, because he seems to be struggling. Bit of contact. Gabor nearly sent into a spin. Quantum now going to be a lawnmower off the grass at PGR's race. PGR's race has just gone absolutely tits up, if it hadn't already.
Yeah, that teamwork plan definitely didn't work.
Yeah, it certainly didn't. Yeah, without a shadow of doubt, as the front 2 now come into the box, and because of all this fighting that's been going on behind, I mean, if you look at Venom, he's now he's on the back of Simbarox as Quantum picks up his 3rd time penalty now. Venom is only 6 seconds or so off Quantum. And he's about 8 seconds off the back of Furious, maybe 9 seconds. Gabor now picks up another time penalty. So I'm actually thinking Ogwin might only be, Ogwin and Fake TB might only be a few seconds off
because
this lead
here
train.
they are, and they are ahead of Quantum, who's slowed down. Okay, yeah, they're already in DRS. That is
indeed. I mean, but yeah. Massive. Well, there we go. That just proves it. I mean, yeah, they're in the DRS, obviously, of Otto and Gabor. And then there is nearly a 3-second gap up to Joe Murphy, Furious and Justin, who have managed to pull away from this lot. So Justin at the moment will finish a net P3. There's more battling going on behind, and that's between Otto and Gabo. And Gabo now just pulling to the inside. He's just let Fake TB and Ogwin go. And now I want to keep an eye on these two, because these two, with 12 and a half laps remaining, this will get spicy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this will be good. This will be very good.
Indeed, yes. Obviously, I'm still going to be biased, so hopefully Ogwin can do us a favour. Quantum, I think fair to say Quantum has just completely given up. As their typical picks up a penalty. We've only got 4 drivers left without a penalty. So you'd think it'd be one of these 4 drivers that's going to win this race, and here comes Ogwin now with the DRS, burning a bit of battery, and Fake TB is just going to follow him through. Is Fake TB going to go for a move on Ogwin? If I was him, I probably wouldn't. It should really work together. Venom saying the fastest lap of the race there, obviously in his brand new medium tyres. But there we go, Ogwin into P4, Fake TB into P5. They should pull away from Otto and Gabor in behind them. 3.2 seconds is the gap between Ogwin and Justin to get into the top 3. The race is on, and there goes Gabor in the background, spun on the exit of Villeneuve. That's a reset. That's a reset to track. So if anybody wants to get that, there you go. You're welcome. Well, like I said, if PGR's race couldn't get any worse, it just did. it just got worse.
Yeah, not an ideal Sunday evening. Yeah, Quantum has damage as well after his spin. Yeah.
Yeah, you're very well.
It might even be a retire in the pit lane.
Quite possibly, yes. As Tech just saying thanks for that. You're very welcome. Don't worry about it. That's what I'm here to do.
Oh, Gabor is round again.
No, his tyres have just overheated, and that's it. That's him done. Ogwin just obliterating Venom's fastest lap by 0.6 of a second. Venom all on his own in P7 actually. So and with that penalty, he's still going to be there. So he's doing a decent job, is Venom actually at the moment. I'll give him that. Gap down to 2.4 between Justin and Ogwin. And there we go. Yeah, Quantum in the pits retires. Gabor in the pits retires. No points tonight for PGR. What a...
yeah.
Oh, and it's a VSC.
The problem is Gabor didn't do it on the...
Oh, he didn't do it on track?
I have watched him, well, basically crash on purpose. I mean, he started weaving and lost absolutely every control of the car.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go with that. I've been requested to go on the penalties, so there you go, Kieran. So there's the penalty aspects. Obviously, so you've got Joe Murphy, Furious, Ogwin, and Fake TV, the only ones without a penalty. Everybody has between 3 and... that's still left in the race, has between 3 and 9 seconds, of which Tondi and Misha are the ones who have the 9-second aspects. So there you go. Obviously, just look at the positions gained. Simbrox1 doing a very good job. Obviously, starting from the back of the field and is up into P9. So a good recovery there for Simba, for obviously after his disqualification. Obviously, Furious obviously starting P6. Current running in P2, obviously doing a very good job. And we did sort of say that Furious. I did mention that Furious could come and he could come through and do this, and he is sort of showing that. I don't know if the drivers are getting fully back up to speed. I wonder if we're actually going to be going racing again. It doesn't look like it. This seems to be a very long VS. Oh, there we go. Just been proven wrong. There we go. Back under green flag conditions. And Ogwin has lost out a couple of tenths onto the front three. But what this has done, Simbrox1 picks up his second time penalty straight away after restarting. What this has done is it's given the medium runners 1 lap less to try and close in and get these moves done. I mean, yes, that means that their tyres will now be a little bit better for an extra lap, but it's one of those 6 of one, half a dozen of another. Is that really going to work out for them? Not too sure, but we'll see. The only thing I can say is they have dropped Otto by 1.7 seconds, who is now just running all by himself.
Yeah, Otto just will try to stay ahead of Venom, I'm guessing. Or looking at the... Oh yeah, looking at the penalties, he needs to somehow not lose a lot of time, because Venom has 3 seconds less penalties.
Indeed, yes. I'm actually a bit surprised here. I thought Fake TB might go for a move so they can actually switch. as to who's going to run the DRS and everything, but he's clearly not interested, and as a result, they're not really gaining on the front three. Joe Murphy leading this race, Furious and behind Justin in P3. They are not racing each other. Justin obviously wants to make sure that he can maybe try and get a possible P3 finish if he can, if you know, Ogwin and Fate TV can't close in. At the moment, he's going to be finishing in P5. But I did think that Fate TV would want to make a move. He's got more battery, so I thought he would do that just so they can try and close in a bit more. Jacob now picking up another time penalty. I'm just not even going to bother anymore unless it's one of the 4 drivers that don't have a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing Fake TV feels like it's better for him to just follow Ogwin. He might not believe he has the pace himself. I mean, they are closing in like this as well.
Yeah, they've closed in a few tenths on this lap, but I mean, you know, Ogwin's got 20% battery. Fate TV's in the 60s. You'd think that he would get a move done just to try and help close it. Well, he's going to this lap. There we go. Battery burns. And he does get the move done this time, so they can close in a little bit more. Anything happen out in front is Furious going for the move down the inside of Tamburello on Joe Murphy. Indeed, he is. So Furious now takes the lead of this race on lap 25 from the 2 BRT drivers. Justin really shouldn't do anything. He needs to just allow his teammate to battle it out, and he just needs to try and keep the 2 medium runners in behind from closing in. But look at this. Fate TB, 1.3, 1.2, 1.1 seconds. They might close in on this lap.
Close. Yeah, but and he has 20% ERS. It's going to be really close. And he's in.
9 tenths. He's in. He's got it.
Oh, he will be on the fence.
I wonder if he made a mistake there through Wacom and Arali. He's definitely burnt all of his battery if he can. Just Ogwin's actually sort of struggling a little bit to stay with him. But he's done it. There we go. There's the detection point, and we now have a 5-car train once again.
Yeah, and Fake TV and Ogwin is ready to hunt them down.
Yeah, so for the next lap or two, I'm just going to say they will just try and recharge their battery a little bit as Joe Murphy now retakes the lead back from Furious. Is Justin going to try and go for a move, though, to maybe just put a car in between his teammates so he can try and go for the win here? The answer is no. He stays in P3 for the time being. Fate TB, I think, made a mistake there through Tamburello because the gap's now up to 9 tenths of a second. And to be fair, Justin just made a mistake there, so he's now back to half a second. As we say that. So, 5-car train, 2 BRT drivers, 1 TTM, 1 Shazoo, and I'll be brutally honest, I can't remember what Fate TV is in.
EVR.
EVR, that's it. I did think it was EVR, but I should see that because Jake's in EVR. He's down at the bottom. Stupid. Silly. My apologies for EVR. As Jacob now picks up another time. I think is that Jacob's 4th penalty? Or is that his 5th?
Third one.
Oh, is that his 3rd? I thought he had more than that.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, here we go. Fate TB now, right and all over the back of Justin. And is he gonna? He's definitely gonna pressure him to try and get this move done as soon as he can. Is the EVR man? Is Justin on the battery? Yes, he is. Furious is going to have to as well. I don't think Ogwin is bothering. At the moment, he's going to recharge for another lap. But Justin definitely has got the higher downforce. Furious now goes into the lead of the race. Joe Murphy is defending the outside to hold off Fake TB from getting through, and that's good. That's a good idea there from BRT. Joe Murphy staying on the racing line, allowing his teammate to go through on the inside line, so they still stay in P2 and P3, and not allowing the Haas to get through. That's good teamwork there from BRT.
Yeah. They need to do everything perfectly to keep the medium runners behind, and it's a good start. But they still need to somehow coordinate it for the last 5-6 laps. It will be hard.
Indeed, yes. There's going to be another. There's going to be 5 more attempts of this, and anything can still happen on here. But obviously, they will want Joe Murphy to be the lead BRT. As here comes Ogwin round the outside. I did not see that coming there. Ogwin trying to go for a bit of an opportunistic move there through the Variante Alta on the Fake TB, who I don't think saw it coming, and that's just kind of hindered Ogwin a little bit. I knew what he was trying to do. Has he got damage? No, he hasn't.
No.
I thought he did, but no, he doesn't. But well, that's kind of squandered any opportunities on this particular lap at least, or so I think. But here comes Fake TB now, going to try it.
Really
Justin going to try and go around the outside of Furious. Nothing happening there, but look at the run that Fake TB has got. But he hasn't got the battery. He does not have the battery to attack coming down towards Villeneuve. But that was a chance. That was a sniff coming into Tozer now. Joe Murphy sort of defends the inside line. Oh, got a bit of lag there from Joe Murphy. I don't know if that put the Fake TB off. Alguin now has closed right in on them once again. Yeah, lap 28, 4.5 laps to go. Going down into... once again, Alguin getting very close in this middle sector, going through Aqua Minerale. Now up, getting closer to Variantiality. He's going for the move once again on the outside, and Fake TB lets him go. He's letting go this time. Maybe he thinks that maybe Alguin has got the better chance. To try and get amongst these hard tyre runners.
Yeah, maybe he feels like he doesn't have enough ERS to make something work, and Ogwin definitely has some.
Indeed, well, Justin's definitely close enough to have a go at Furious here. Whether he's going to or not, I am not too sure. No battling really going on, apart from Justin sort of trying to get into the inside of Furious here. He's trying to do it without burning the battery, and once again is unsuccessful. Contact. Yeah, bit of contact there, going on board with Ogwin. He was trying to look through left and right as they're coming through Villeneuve. He's trying to get a move done. Joe Murphy just shuts the door on him, and they're doing everything they can here. The BRT drivers, Ogwin get a bit of a mistake there through Tozer. Don't know if the car bottomed out, but that all started from Justin not making the move on Furious, just holding the inside line, and Joe Murphy just basically being a roadblock. Through Aqua Minerale once again for the 29th time of this 32-lap Grand Prix. And the two BRT drivers are still doing a good job on holding everyone up behind. But they've got to switch places at some point. Joe Murphy needs to be the lead driver. Once again, he's half defending the middle of the road into Ravazza this time from Ogwin, who's trying left and right, time and time again to try and get a move done. Well, here comes Joe Murphy now, burning a lot of his battery there. And I think, is Fake TB going to go for a move on Ogwin? The answer is no, not this time around. Justin, again, not really interested in going for a move on Furious. I don't know if that was just the game, actually. Again, I thought it was a bit of carbon fiber contact between Justin and Furious, but that's not the case. But here comes Joe Murphy now trying to... I thought he was going for a move there through Villeneuve, but not happening. But look at this. Here comes Ogwin. Is he going to go around the outside of Tozer?
No.
Can't really overtake there. But Fake TB gets the move done on Ogwin. I think Ogwin made a mistake. So Fake TB now goes back into 4th place.
Really close racing between these lots.
It definitely is. Sem actually is getting quite close to the back of Venom, and even with Venom's 1 lap fresher tyres, Sem obviously seems to be the slightly quicker driver on those medium compound. But we're going to stick with this top 5 to the end of the race of what has been a thrilling race here at Imola. 2 laps to go after this one, and the Fake TB and Ogwin's time is running out.
Yeah, definitely. They need to force something this lap, because if they can't, then that's it.
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
At least Fake TB is burning at least.
He is indeed. He's going to force them into something. There goes Justin now. Eventually takes the lead of this race. Side by side between Joe Murphy and Furious. And Joe Murphy gets the move done. And now that is perfect situation, perfect scenario for BRT. Justin lead. Joe Murphy 2nd, Furious 3rd, Fake TB still in 4th. Coming through Villeneuve once again. Oh, there's contact! There's contact. That was definitely carbon fibre. And that is Furious with an end plate missing.
Yeah, and it's really very unlucky for Furious, who I just checked doesn't even have a warning in this whole race. So he has been looking very strong for the win. But now with the damage and Joe Murphy probably holding them up on purpose.
Yes, he is. Yes, Joe Murphy is holding them up so Justin could get a 3-second gap. This was the plan all along. But it's a dangerous game, this, and obviously it's cost Furious part of his wing. And look at that gap is now up to 2.4 seconds. It's... I mean, I do get it. I understand why they do it, but it's dangerous. And I think TTM might possibly have a case here. As here comes Fake TB. Going to go around the outside. Is he going to go around the outside of Ravatsa? And Joel Murphy not leaving the space there. I think he was entitled to the space there, was Fake TB. Joel Murphy's getting very aggressive, getting too aggressive. I think for my liking, final lap of the race, and Justin has now got over a 3-second lead. I'm sorry, but this is just getting ridiculous. Almost 4 wide there. Almost 4 wide. Furious, Ogween, they actually just about kept it clean. They kept it together. Furious is somehow in P2.
Jesus, there was a car sideways definitely there.
Well, Joe Murphy's now.
Joe Murphy, yeah.
Yep, Joe Murphy's going to the gravel trap. So Furious somehow.
Still going at it. And Fake TB gets the place. Fake TB is in P3.
Indeed he is. Indeed he is into P3. These two though should close in on Furious. Obviously with that end plate missing, Joe Murphy's come back into P6 and amongst all this. Well, should be P5 because of Otto's penalty. But as I mentioned, it's stupid why they do this. It's dangerous and it's just going to cause a big incident and a big accident, and I think something needs to be addressed on this, but that's just my opinion as it is anyway. So in some respect, justice is served, the fact that Joe Murphy has dropped to P6. Out in front though, obviously Justin got the move done, and he is going to take victory here, and even with that time penalty, he will take victory here at Imola, and it is another win for BRT. Furious, even with his end plate missing, gets P2, and the Fake TB with a stellar performance rounds off the podium. Ogwyn is 4th, and obviously Joe Murphy with in 5th because of Otto's penalties. But that was a chaotic end. What was pretty much a chaotic race.
Yeah, it was quite something. I can't even describe it, but there was so much contact in the end. It was crazy.
It was indeed crazy. I mean, we had everything that race. PGR not scoring tonight. A possible 1-2 for BRT obviously didn't turn out to be the case. Obviously, we did have the good defending. We also had this slight stupidity. There was action everywhere, and as suspected, we had penalties galore. But in the end, it is 3 different teams on the podium. Obviously, it's Justin who takes another win. It's his 2nd win in a row after winning last time out in Japan. And that will actually extend BRT's championship lead.
Yeah.
With Allison only finishing in P14. Allison, P14. Not a good race for him.
Yeah. But I would also like to maybe point out Simbaro, who after the disqualification got a P10.
Indeed, Fake TB actually given driver of the day there, but I actually could argue that maybe Simbrox one definitely deserves a shout out. But I think, yeah, to be fair, I'd probably maybe give it to Fake TB as driver of the day. Did a very good job there, getting on the podium, and that's I think EVR's first podium in, well, definitely, obviously in AEC TRS. So congratulations to them, congratulations to the Fake TB on getting a very solid podium finish. Obviously, we will round off the results just so everyone can see it for one more time. Not watching the celebrations that long, but there we have it. So Justin is your race winner for BRT. 7/10 in the end it was, after the penalty was included that he had over Furious. Fake TV rounds off the podium in 3rd. Then you have Ogwyn in 4th with the fastest lap, so extra points there for Shizu at least. Joe Murphy in 5th, Otto 6th, Venom in 7th. Did better than the 14th that he said, so I'll give him that at least. You know, after I said he was getting sacked from his penalty, I think I might reinstate him again. Sem finishes in 8th, Rapids 9th, Simbrox won in 10th. In the end, he lost out on that 9th place because of his extra penalty. Tondi in 11th, Typical in 12th, Race Roller 13th, and Allison ran off the point scorers in 14th. And then you have Misha and Jacob, who are the only remaining finishers. Then you have Quantum and Gabor, Jake and Knight, who are the non-finishers tonight. Partik, one final thought from you. Sum up that race in 3 words.
Okay, so Chaos EVR Masterclass, I would say. Yeah.
That's yeah. Well, I'll go the other way. Chaotic PGR disaster class.
Yeah, that also works.
So there we have it. So that has been round 3 of AECTS. Obviously, things are likely going to happen. There's going to be inquiries. But anyway, join us again next week for round 4, where we go to where we are next week. It will be Zandvoort.
Zandvoort, yeah.
It will be Zandvoort. I will not be here because I will be heading back from a karting enduro. So good luck to everyone doing that. But from myself, from Party, thank you for joining us. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Goodbye.